Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome, everybody, to another special event. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening tonight. I just got off work. I got paint all over my face, but that's okay because we're about to drag Cecil. Let me add my brother.
Here I am.
Yes. Hey, can you hear me okay, brother?
I can, loud and clear.
That's beautiful. Man, it's a good night. Any night we get together to drag the scum of the earth, that's a good night.
Yep, the scum off the bottom of our shoes.
So what's up? What's new?
Oh, I just been following the lies and deception at its finest of one Cecil Wayne Carroll from Covington, Kentucky.
Dude, it's been bad lately. Uh, it's taken a turn for the worst. I mean, I feel like he's at a final form possibly. Can he get worse than this?
Yes, he can.
I think he's
Now,
finally fried that last brain cell.
for a while, I've been given a pass to his girlfriend, but I mean, the evidence is so overwhelming that at this point, I have to believe that she's a participant at this. There's no excuse anymore. The videos, and I like how he likes to refer to one video, which now I believe has 5 different versions. Now it's he lied and made it up so that he could fit in. So my first question is, fit in with who? Well, you made a video admitting to molesting kids to fit in with who?
Who is he trying to relate with?
That's a good question. And then recently he went back to the video was edited. So we've gone from the first year of the confession, him and his girlfriend basically coming up with an excuse, which I think they settled on in the first year. They settled on what was it, sleep humping or something like that.
Right.
And then going into the second year, it was sleep humping. But if he wasn't sleep humping, it's because the video was definitely edited. They somehow rearranged his words from different streams into that one stream flawlessly, with no breaks, no telltale signs of edit, nothing, and somehow created this wonderful Michael Bay video of him doing this confession.
Yeah. So he's a he's a fucking liar. Everything he's said in regards to his confession video, and now most recently, come to find out that he's been lying about the panty sniffing incident too. So, at what point do we say nothing he is saying? He's just trying to cover his lies, And now he's being caught in his lies. He knows he's done. He knows he's exposed. I just wish there was a way that we could get him up on here to talk with us. I feel like
he'll never do that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
mean,
coward, man.
he doesn't even face people in chat. He just blocks everybody. He
Yeah.
claims he doesn't. He claims he doesn't watch anybody's videos, but like as soon as somebody makes a decent video about him calling out his deception, somehow he gets a live stream going where he's talking about those specific people. But I never even watched the video. Okay, then how are you making quotes of the video if you didn't watch the video?
Verbatim.
Let me guess. His next excuse will be, "Well, people send it to me." Okay, people send it to you. Okay, so you still watch the video? I
Right.
mean,
Like Queen Tasty, probably. Or is it Mick Dunn or Michael Dunn?
Mick Dunn, Mike Dunn, I don't know. So let's
Yeah.
address that for a moment because that
Let's do
part
it.
bothered me. So
Let's do it.
he's made recent videos where he's called you a child molester, myself a child molester, Magnitude a child molester, and somebody who allowed their son to be raped. First of all, that's the definition of slander because at no time have any of those individuals, myself included, ever made a testimony video proclaiming things that we've done as a child or proclaiming things that we've done as a babysitter or proclaiming things we've done as a guest in our cousin's home because that was the third case. Nobody's made those videos on this side. That's the first thing I want to say. So when you make accusations like that without any evidence, and there is a difference between child molester, pedophile, and predator, there's a vast difference. That's called slander. That's the definition of slander. He takes verbatim what any troll says and runs with it. He walks around with weapons like their penis extensions to somehow give his manhood a boost or whatever. I don't know what the purpose of it is. Pretty much everything that's happened to him has never been his fault. Despite the fact that his sister admitted that he was, in fact, a pedophile, despite the fact that his aunt knew he was a pedophile, despite the fact that his cousin knew he was a pedophile, despite the fact that he was jailed for 5 years for endangering children and stealing panties from children and stealing medicine from cabinets and being a drug user, despite all that fact and getting it all expunged under the law, he expunged his record of felony so that he could have the ability to carry a weapon. But in God's eye, since he likes to quote God so much, he is still a felon and still a pedophile. None of that's changed. He's just an armed felon and an armed pedophile now.
Yes.
That's it. It's to the point where he's putting vests on naked over his skin with weapons in different positions, but then at the same hand saying, I am not making threats. I just love my gun. I mean, what are you gonna are you sticking your dick in them too? What are you doing? I don't get it. I don't get it. The whole purpose of concealed carry, last I checked, was so that people didn't know you were carrying a weapon.
Exactly. And I don't know if you caught this or not, but he's walking to children's playgrounds with that Velcroed stomach vest that he has. And he's walking around in the public, open carrying at children's playgrounds. And he says, well, it's my right. I have a right to do this. But Cecil doesn't understand that just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. And I don't even know that that's legal. I don't know. There's different laws for different places. Different cities have different ordinances. Do you think that's legal?
Yeah.
I don't think that's legal.
There are places that even with concealed carry, you're not allowed to have your weapon. So some of those places are playgrounds for children. They're museums, libraries,
Right.
municipal buildings, courthouses, federal buildings, workplaces if it's not authorized, meaning if you're not an armed security guard, etc. And even in those cases, armed security guards are using company weapons, which are usually kept in some sort of armory or weapons depot with an armorer. So you wouldn't be using. Typically, you would not be using your own weapon. You'd be using an issued
Yeah.
weapon.
And good point. You just made me think
Yeah.
of something. So if the weapon's issued to you, okay, that means that you have had some kind of formal training to be able to assess the situation, to be able to make a certain call.
Yeah,
Because
you've got to go through training, just like you would in the military or the police or special operations, which exist in the state levels for like emergency preparedness and emergency responses. You go through a special weapons training. You go through rules of conduct, rules of engagement. You go through appropriate tactical responses, such as are you shooting to kill, or are you shooting to wound, are you shooting to prevent further injury? It's not necessarily always going to be a shoot to kill scenario, unless the person you're targeting is in imminent danger to your life or the lives of those around you that you're subject to protect. So
into our knowledge, that was a great answer. And our knowledge, Cecil has had zero training. He hasn't even gone through the concealed carry permit classes, which go over very basic. I've gone through those. They go over very basic
No, he has not. He has
scenarios and
not. No,
safety.
no.
But one of the things that's very concerning to me, brother, is Cecil's basically taking it upon himself to say that if he sees A, B, or C, that he's gonna, and I quote, take out the threat and then call the police. But
Right.
it's concerning to me. It concerns me because a couple reasons. Number one, he's so delusional now that he believes and he actually sees people stalking him. So he's seeing things. He's hallucinating, or he's so hyper paranoid that he thinks that the people around him are now stalking him. So his brain's
Yes. Hmm.
deteriorating even more. Um, and it's worrisome because he could think that he sees a threat. He could think that he sees one of his trolls, and he thinks that since he's being stalked, that he has the right to defend himself and shoot them. We all know how Cecil will make up his percentages and his little what he thinks is right, and he'll come up with reasons why this is justified.
Hmm.
He's going to shoot somebody one of these days, brother.
That is correct, and it's going to be an improper firing, and he's going to end
That's
up
what I
in
mean.
prison.
Yep.
I just hope it doesn't cost somebody their life to get him locked up where he belongs. We're talking about an individual who claims to have proof of myself, and yourself in his garden, at his child's school, at his work. He's seen us, he's recorded us, and he's reported us to his police and to the FBI. None of which is true on both counts. And one is he's never caught us in his garden, he's never caught us at his kid's school, and he's never caught us at his job, because it doesn't exist. So that's
Doesn't
definitely,
exist.
yeah, he doesn't have any of that. Possibly uh, a Wi-Fi router with his name in it, but again, that's not illegal.
No, that's
That's
not illegal.
100% okay to have a hotspot named after him. Uh, why he's looking for that, that's on him. Okay, that could be within 20 miles of his house.
That's right.
That being said, he mentions Bob Mackey. He mentions the disgusting pizza place he used to work at. He mentions how he's a security guard. He was a security guard, unarmed security guard, who went on a live stream in full uniform, brandishing a weapon, which is 1,000% against the rules. So
Right.
that's why he got fired. He got
Yeah, because
fired
they could be
for
sued.
breaking the rules. Of course they can. You've got an
They could be
unhinged
sued.
employee wearing your uniform, brandishing a weapon, talking about how he's going to shoot somebody that comes up to his house. Okay.
He can't keep a job. He's unemployed right now, as far as I know.
Yes, unemployed.
How does
Unemployed.
this how does this stuff keep happening year after year? It makes me think somebody, Hetty, like you said earlier, Hetty has got to be at fault uh, to some degree for this, because she's obviously letting this go on, or she's supporting it, or she could be
Well, it's
steering
not
him
the
in certain
first time she's
directions.
been in. She's not the first time she's been in that kind of relationship now, is it? Which is another reason
No,
why
it's not.
I'm starting to second guess her uh, absence from being part of the crime, because at this point, you have to look at it like this. Okay, so she's already had a case of it in her life. She was married to one. Then fresh out of prison, gets with another person. It just seems really odd. He basically overstepped his bounds and told one of his of age children that she was adopted and that her parents aren't her parents. That's not his right to do. He should have gone through legal avenues to acquire that relationship. But based on what I've seen, she's not interested in a relationship with him anyway. So hopefully she's good to go. I'm afraid he's going to do the same thing with his son when his son becomes of age. And here's the thing. Typically, courts don't remove parental rights permanently unless something pretty substantial has happened and there's evidence of it, which is probably what happened during his court case when he went to prison for 5 years, stealing children's panties from homes he was charged to clean. And again, the synopsis of this is this. Every single thing that's happened in his life has never been, according to him, it's never been his fault. It's always been somebody else's fault. Either he blames the victims of the children that he assaulted, or he blames the employees, or he blames his bosses, or he blames the environment, or he blames his childhood, or he blames his mom, his dad, his aunt, his uncle, his brother, everybody, his sister. Everybody is at fault. It's never Cecil's fault. So over the course of 7 years, when you take all of those things, over 200 plus videos, where he likes to just emphasize just a confession video and then excuse his behaviors by going, well, these people weren't respecting me. These people came at me. These people. He went to 2 underage children's homes without parents' consents. One to confront one for disrespecting him on the internet, and the other one to cleanse their home of evil spirits. No parental consent whatsoever. So, as a parent, think about this. If a man showed up to your home of your underage minor child to confront them for disrespect online or to cleanse the home, as a I don't even want to say normal parent. As an average parent, what would your response typically be?
If an adult came to my home to see my child, I mean, I
Without
guess
your consent.
legally, without my consent, I'd probably be in jail or prison right now, brother. To be honest with you, because
You and me both.
yeah,
Which is why, for
yeah.
a fact, none of us have ever showed up at his home or his kid's school because it's stupid. It's illegal. It's wrong. And it's freaking creepy.
We're not gonna break the law to jeopardize getting him put in custody, getting him charged.
It's hey, what's up, butter? What's up, Marcy? Yeah, it's hey, you don't have butter for a wrench. You might make sure you fix that when you get on your computer. Um, yeah, it's extremely weird. And again, like I said, it's not just the confession video, or in his words, the childhood testimony. It's the fact that he's done so many other things in relation to children. He made a video about a 40-year-old man with a belt, going to spank two 10-year-old girls, his daughter and his daughter's friend. He's come out about his daughter's sexuality. I mean, what parent does that? He's talked about his daughter's sexuality. He's talked about his daughter's menstrual cycle. He's talked about how his daughter's more like 17 than 12. He tries to make it seem like it's an okay thing for underage children to look older so that older people are interested in them. And he's even made comments like that. He's like, I knew there's a time a 20-year-old guy was looking at my daughter and checking her out, and I had to tell him that she's only 10 or 12. Or no. I'm sorry, as a parent of a daughter, I've never had somebody come up to me and tell me my daughter looked hot like that. No. Because it's not a normal response. He's trying to normalize that behavior that he partook in so that he doesn't seem as bad of a person. And so much so that he keeps making different excuses about the one video. But it's not, at this point, it's not just that one video. It's all of your videos, where over half of them are ostracizing children and making them seem more like a property that you own versus somebody that you raise. And then there's... Oh, man.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish. Go ahead.
Just real quick, because I know it's loud in here. I mean, you see the stuff that he thinks that's funny too. It's always sexualizing something, and like the way he goes at Mrs. Magnitude, just slandering her, calling her all these horrible names. And I don't know if you saw one of the last videos that he posted online, but it was so stupid. But it was talking about what do I got to do to get a dick in my mouth, and he just thinks that's so funny. He thinks that's
Yeah.
great.
He thinks it's hilarious. He got fired from his own brother because he was doing things in the client's home yet again that were unacceptable. Your own brother fired you. That should tell people something. He can't even work for family at this point. He cannot be trusted in other people's homes because he's a creepy snoop who snoops through people's bureaus and steals stuff. Most likely underwear and medicine, because he still has an addictive gene and an addictive personality. Yeah, Butter. He shows off his gun not just because of paranoia. It's an extension of his penis because he feels so inferior to us. And let's address that for a moment. It's not just the Viper group. There are other groups, some within Kentucky, some within Ohio, some within Nebraska, some within Pennsylvania, that are aware of who and what he is and are trolling him, which they're doing quite good at. It's keeping his channel down, which was the entire goal. Keeping him from getting support, which was another goal. Like he thinks, they're trying to take me off the internet. No, that'd be a great result if it happened. That's not the goal.
Right.
The goal is to prevent you from having 30 or 40 people in your side chat giving you PayPals or super chats. That's the goal, because you don't deserve it, because you're disgusting. You're a monster. You're a danger to children, including your own at this point. You're a danger. You're going to hurt somebody with your gun because you're so stupid.
Yep. He doesn't have any business having a firearm. I mean, I'm telling you guys, mark my words, he is going to shoot somebody. Hopefully he only hurts himself, but there's a lot of innocent people. He puts himself into public spaces where there are lots of people, primarily children, that can see him. He wants to be seen by people. He wants people to see him with his gun on him. He also wants
a false sense of respect. He thinks that people should just respect him with no mind or reason. Just respect him, and when they don't, then they're a troll or they're a hater or they're this and that. That's not how it works. Yeah. You earn respect on this platform. You earn it, and that's assuming that even is the intent. Because you and I are brothers, we're clearly Huff paranormal haters. And again, I've constantly had to explain this. I don't know the first thing about paranormal I don't know anything about the Huff guy. I don't know anything about what ghost box are. What I do know is that if it's based on waves and somebody recently died, those waves are going to be more prominent and give false positives as far as ghost box sessions go. That much I know, but that's like that's not even rocket science. That's just general intelligence. So
Right.
when I see
exactly.
people doing when I see people doing ghost box on recently deceased people, to me that's a gimp. I mean, you're looking to make money off of something that you're giving false negatives to. Here's another thing. Okay, so Cherokee Indians in Kentucky are awarded reparations. Okay, the more Cherokee you are, the more reparations you get. Okay, he claims to be 45% Cherokee, and yet he's whiter than you and I. I don't know how that works.
I'm glad you said that. There ain't no Native American in him for sure. He thinks just because his mom has dark hair, he thinks that he's Native American.
Yeah.
He's confused.
Yeah, this is the part, because we know how Cecil equates money to popular and power, right? That's what he equates money to. So if you were 45, let's just ask you, if you were 45% Cherokee in a state like Kentucky, which gives you reparations, would you not go get your reparations?
He would be all over it.
We're talking millions of dollars for 45%. I mean, you would be sitting on a tribal council at 45%.
Yeah, if he was 45% Cherokee Indian, I mean, he would look 45% Cherokee Indian.
He would. He would. First of all, he would have black hair.
Right.
He would have a very tanned or leathery type complexion or reddish skin, which he doesn't have. I'm Italian. I'm darker than the average white person. So like I look at him and I'm like, dude, you're whiter than me, man. No, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way you're Cherokee. But he runs with it, not thinking to himself, oh, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't say Cherokee because that's reparations in Kentucky. Like everything he says is researchable and Googleable to prove. Remember the $5,000 jade elephant he had that I found on Amazon for $5?
$5.
This is my grandmother's. This is Heidi's great grandmother's. She left it to her in a will. They're worth thousands of dollars. And I'm like, I got them for $5 if you guys are interested.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing a pattern here, brother. I'm seeing that literally everything he says is a lie. Everything. I mean, and this is the thing.
I call him Two Dogs fucking random.
Random
his
news.
Cherokee name. His Cherokee name is Two Dogs fucking.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I want to say hi to everybody real quick. What's up, Marcy?
Yeah, go for
Butter.
it.
What's up, Tam? What's up, Random? Who else is it? Marcy. Let's see. Bulldog Bill. Shadow. It's good to see everybody.
He claims we're all criminals. He thinks Magnitude lives in London, France. He claims that those people can't have guns, which he doesn't understand the laws and how they work over there. And quite frankly, Magnitude is pretty lethal with a crossbow.
Hey, I don't want to interrupt you real fast, but I got to. I'm picking up some air conditioners off one of the landlords I work for, so just bear with me for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Mute it up if you have to.
Thank you, brother.
Yep. I'll keep the group entertained. Yeah, so basically he's 45% Cherokee, which is untrue, but hasn't filed for reparations, which would amount to millions of dollars with that degree of Cherokee. Not to mention that it would be a suitable line for you to sit on a tribal council and make effective changes in your community. But like I said, it's not true. he has no real concept behind firearms, how to use them, how to properly store them, how to properly clean them, or use them for that matter. He can't seem to hold a job because, again, it's always somebody else's fault. Remember, like the forklift was somebody else's fault. The pizza place was somebody else's fault. The first security job, not securitist, the first security job they got fired from was for sexual harassment with another employee. Yet again, he seems to have a lot of those. But yeah, hey, whatever. AC units. I hope y'all staying safe, stocking up. I hear there was another UFO sighting recently. Stop. His Cherokee name would be Snowball. Ooh, I like that. Snowball. So I attribute Snowball to a cat, though, and I like cats. I don't know. Yep. So basically, we all hate him because we like Irish Steve-O and we want Irish Steve-O's cock in our hands or something weird shit like that. Or it's because we all hate Steve Huff, or it's all because we're secretly abusing our own kids and our own spouses and we hate life and we're just jealous of him. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been jealous of a broke nothing in Covington, Kentucky, with shit music and stolen beats. How often it makes me extremely jealous. I can't imagine. All those temp agencies should know. And that's a good point you bring up, Marcy. That's exactly what he works through. He works through a temp agency because he likes to get paid each day, which most temp agencies have daily pay. So you go in and you sit around there for a little bit and hope that a job comes through, and they'll tell the jobs that are out there and people will pick them. And then you go to the job site with a voucher, you work, you clock in, you do your job, you come back to the temp agency, you give them your voucher. They take out your taxes and give you a balance, and then you go to the little machine, and the machine will spit out the money for you. I think Cecil's 50% imbecile. 50% imbecile. And one thing I'll give his girlfriend credit for is she doesn't brandish her weapon around like an idiot for popularity. I don't even know what the fuck he does it for, to be honest with you. It seems like the stupidest thing to do. I think I've had a weapon for years now, and nobody's seen it until like the first day I went shooting live. Is the first time somebody's ever seen my weapon. Yeah.
You have a good night, bud.
No, you have a good night. Bro, does your bandana glow in the dark?
No, I think it's just high vis. It might though.
It looked like it did.
Might. Oh my gosh! Yeah, I just got a couple big air conditioners. I got to install.
Was he have a bunch of apartments?
Yeah, sorry about that, brother.
No, you got nothing to be sorry about, man. We were just talking about how Cecil's 50% draconian and 50% imbecile.
I tell you what, man, he looks like something that just crawled out from the gutter. You know, he really does. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Hetty, I don't know for the life of me why she feels the need to hang on to him. That's why I think you're onto something. I mean, she plays a larger part in this
I think
than
so.
anybody realizes. Because think about
The
this too. I
last
was thinking
couple of
about this.
the last couple of things he's did where he tried to get his daughter on the camera, she keeps telling him no, and he keeps forcing it on her. So like that's another
Dude,
problem.
yeah. That's a
But go
major
ahead, what were you
problem.
saying?
Especially with the content that he's been posting lately. It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate for a child to be anywhere near that. You know, we know this as responsible adults, but I think about this too is Cecil, if you really go back and really listen to him, you will find videos that he has made where he talks about being afraid of guns, being afraid of this, and then they scare him, right? But I remember when he first said that he was going to get his felony expunged and get a firearm. But it wasn't him that initially wanted one; it was Hetty. So I'm thinking that Hetty, maybe she made him get one, or she pushed him in that direction. But I think it just gave him such a sense of power, a false sense of power that it just fed his ego. But I do remember Hetty. That was Hetty's idea initially.
I think a gun for him is like a new car for the average citizen.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
a shiny new toy. I
yeah.
that's what I
It
think
is.
because that's how I am with cars. Like when I get a new truck or a new
Sure.
car or something, like I love showing that shit off. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
but
have vanity. That's my bad. But like
that's
for him,
okay.
it's guns because he's never had one before, at least legally anyway.
And he doesn't
And
act like he realizes that most people, maybe not most, but a lot of people is carrying them. It's not a big thing. It's not like he's being a rebel by doing this.
yeah, that's a big thing for me too. It's like for me, it's just like an average day. Like I don't even
Exactly.
realize I have it on me half the time. Um, it's just a natural instinct for me. The big thing that I want to point out is that a
Yep.
lot of the positive things that have happened in his life, the expungement, the 2 cars, the driver's license, all of that shit happened because of the so-called trolls that hate him supposedly. He,
I
he's
know.
mentioned that a few times, and I don't recall getting a thank you for any of that. I'm a
No,
little
he hasn't.
offended.
He hasn't thanked us.
Yeah,
It's
that's
that's
a little
pretty rude if
offensive.
you ask me. It's very offensive. If he was really trying to take
Oh,
care of himself, he'd take care of them teeth first.
yeah. Um, I to see him constantly slurping and eating shit online too. That's like I've never liked people that eat online. It's the most annoying thing in the world. Unless you're doing like a fundraiser like challenge thing to just sit there
Yeah,
and stuff your face, standing half naked with a couple of weapons attached to you, like it's some kind of I don't even know what that was. Like, what was it supposed to be? Was it like a is it supposed to like instill fear or something? Like, if anything, it made me laugh at him. Like, you're an idiot.
exactly. It's just that is funny, especially his new gun holster. I mean, watching him wear that on his bare skin, like he looks so ridiculous. And that thing is as tight. He's got that thing strapped on as tight as it will go, and it still looks like it's going to slip off of him because he can't be more than 12
He's
inches in
but
diameter. The dude,
he's like 100 pounds wet. He has no waist whatsoever. He's always wearing. He can always see his it's disgusting. It's like
dude,
I
he's
don't know. Maybe he's flirting with us. I don't get it. Like maybe that's what it
yeah,
is. Like he really wants to have a relationship with us, and we're just not
yeah.
interested. Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, I think he wants dominated. I mean, I really do. I think that he likes the fact that we control him.
Yeah.
We've been pulling the strings for years.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, we've made him think things that are so untrue that he believes are 1,000% true. It's a
I know.
brilliant long haul troll.
Yes, yes. It's a long hauler. That's exactly right.
and I can't get any more enjoyment than that out of it. The only thing that bothers me, like I said, are the serious slanderous accusation he makes against the people that stand up for the rights of children, by making slanderous accusations about them and their children. I've known Magnitude probably maybe half a decade. It's not something that I know of him to do or see him doing. His wife is very protective of the children. And
She's a
for the most
wonderful
part,
person.
she's actually very respectful towards Cecil. For the most part, she even defends him sometimes when Magnitude
Dude, that's
or I like go into him. So that's a big thing to sit there and just slander her looks and her size and her health and everything like that. Like you're a disgusting individual.
it's exactly right. It's exactly right. You know, I mean that, like you said, I remember several times where she's kind of got on us a little bit. Maybe we were getting a little bit too far out there or whatever, but I don't know if she was defending him, but she definitely she tries to look at this very unbiased. You know, she's a good person, you know.
Yeah, she's a very
And
nice
yeah,
person.
for him to talk about her like that, it all I can say is Cecil, you better get Mrs. Mag's name out your mouth because none of that is going to end well for you. Uh,
No.
it's just not.
He's making claims about the confession video being illegal to have on YouTube. That is a false narrative. The video is
Yeah,
owned after an appeal that was won by Steve-O and I. The video is owned by Steve-O and I, and we have given permission for anybody and anyone that wants to upload it and play it, because we're the ones that own it. When it goes up, I have a little thing that comes in my YouTube panel there that says, somebody else is sharing your video. Do you want to copyright claim it? I look at who's posting it, and as long as it's for the right reasons, I leave it alone. So it's clearly my video and Steve-O's video.
oh yeah. Like I say, we do dominate his channel.
Oh yeah. And we did
But
leave him alone for a little bit. We left him alone for about a month, and slowly but surely he started gimping our names into the story of why his channel's not successful. My channel's not successful because I've been trolled by these people and doing this, and I'm like, all right, well, he's already broken the truth, so here we go.
yeah,
When you look at his videos, his highest viewed videos are about us. So he claims we're jealous. I still can't quite figure out what I'm supposed to be jealous of. I don't understand it.
he doesn't think before he speaks. That's part of the problem. There's no line of thinking when he says stuff like that. He's just jumping in blind.
Yeah. I mean, you, my brother, you work harder than anybody I've ever seen. I know Butter works hard. I know Steve-O works hard. I know Magnitude works his ass off.
Yeah, he does.
I know I worked long enough to retire, but I still work. I still support, immigrants and helping them acclimate to American life. I do that primarily because I want to see people succeed in this country that have come from countries that don't have the same rights and privileges that we do. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Shire Ghost. Shire Ghost says the trouble is I didn't see the confession video live, but I see the explanation video too live. So are you saying there's a doubt in your mind that video could be fake? You're saying that you think Cecil's confession video could be fake, and that's a fair thing to think.
Yeah,
I would say
there's nothing wrong with that. I think you should question that. I mean, it's been independently reviewed by an agency that the FBI uses to collaborate videos for their cases, and it costs like $560 to do, and it was deemed it was not an edited video. The words and the flows of what he was saying in that live are the things that he said.
And like you said, brother, it's even if we didn't have the confession video, we would still have to get his ass off the internet. At least have him watched very closely as he is right now.
What's up, Yoakum? But it's not just the see. That's the thing, and that's the thing he likes to touch on because he tries to draw attention away from all the other videos he's made. It's not just the confession video; it's the subsequent videos following the confession video, trying to explain away what he did. There was a time he said he wasn't guilty of it because the kids were already being abused. There's a time where he said, well, he's not guilty of it because he was just doing what the kids were asking him to do. There's a time where he says, well, he's not guilty because he was just a kid himself and he was neglected and abused. He was a 16-year-old kid charged to be the babysitter, which puts him in a place of authority, which under the law makes him a child molester. Even if the kids were coming on to him, and even if the kids were doing those things, he was guilty for taking advantage of it because he was the person in charge. And it lines up with the time that he was kicked out of the house.
Yep, it sure does. And I'm just wondering here, is he incapable of being responsible, admitting responsibility, or is he so used to lying that he is always automatically putting the blame on others around him, even when there's mountains of evidence?
I think he's in a category like some pedophiles that are trying to normalize pedophilia. Right. I think he's in the mindset where he thinks what he did was okay because he thinks it's an okay, normal feeling and reaction to have. And that's just based on the way he describes his own kid. Like, I have never seen another parent describe their kid or talk about their kid's sexuality in real life or on social media in the way that he has. And like I said, if the confession video alone was enough for me to not like him, those things that followed that confession video lead me to believe more and more that confession video is more about how he really feels about kids.
It's true.
Than anything. I think he thinks it's okay. I think he thinks it's okay for a 16-year-old to have a relationship with a 10-year-old. I really believe that.
Yeah, it's. If you're familiar, I know we're not talking about Cyrax right now, but look at Cyrax too. They are so similar in their like their predatory habits. They're very similar. Whatever Cyrax has, Cecil, I believe, has too. And Shire Ghost says no here. Because hey, good to see you. Yeah, because Shire Ghost says no because why or who would make an explanation of something that was fake? So it has to be real. Well, that's just it. I mean,
he said that himself, though. Remember, back after the confession video, the very one, I think it was the third video he made. He's like, "Look, if this was true and if I was guilty of this, I would be making videos and defending myself all the time." Can anybody tell me what he's been doing for 7 years?
Making videos all the time.
Routine. About that very thing.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't sum it up. Yeah, that didn't age too well. I'll tell you that much.
No. And like I said, his story changes so much. But the only side whose story hasn't changed is ours. Exactly. I mean, the only time it did change was when we found out about the third victim. But the actual original confession video has been told and retold and respoken of, word by word, quote by quote, the exact same way each and every time. But his story and his girlfriend, when she gets in on it, changed. So,
one day, one of these victims are going to come forward.
I hope they do. And my wife made a good point one time. She said the girls may never come forward because they may just never want to talk about it. They may just want to keep it behind them. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's up to the victim to come forward. And that's another thing that he's talked about. He says that you and I have found the girls and talked to them and they defended him. Where's that video? I've never seen that. I don't know who the girls are. I don't know their names.
Nope. I don't
Nor would I contact them if I knew their names, because I'm re-victimizing a victim. It defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do here. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Random. His sister never changed her story. Even when she was being recorded and said, "Don't record me. I don't want to be on record. I'm not recording you," he said. He lied to his own sister and then recorded her stating that he was a child molester back then, but she hasn't seen him do it since then. Okay, so when your direct blood confirms that you are said pedo for those two kids, but not seen it since then, that's not you're not being clear. And he said it in the video. See, she said not since then. Okay, so you did do those things, right? That's not what she said. No, that is what she said. She says, not since then. It was something that you did. Remember that?
Yep.
It was something that you did, but I haven't seen it since then. Okay.
Yep.
And again, he's like, oh, if I did these things, I'd be in jail, right? No, because people go years and decades without getting caught or without their victims coming forward. And it may very well be the victims that you have may never come forward, and you may never go to jail for those crimes. Our goal is to prevent you from having the ability to do it again and get away with it, which means keeping attention on you in the way that we do so that you don't have the luxury or peace of being able to do something without the fear of looking over your shoulder and wondering if one of us or one of the Viper group or one of the other groups, CC Catcher Unit or Owl Hunter, is looking at you and following you and watching you.
Do you think given the opportunity, do you think he would offend again? Do you think he would take advantage of an underage person?
I think if he could get away with it, he would. He sat on a live stream and said that his girlfriend gave the okay for him to send a picture of his penis to a person online. He didn't know if that was a kid or not.
Dude,
put a one in the chat if your spouse will ever give you permission to send your dick pic to anybody.
Wow.
Your spouse. Your person that you love and are supposed to be with. Online to a random stranger. And then get mad when that person puts your dick pic out. Which was, hey, do me a favor. Put your finger and your thumb together real quick. Bro, put your finger, open it up a little bit. Open it up. Open it up. Spread it out. A little bit more. A little bit more. Perfect. Right there. That's what he has to play with. That's why he has the guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he has the guns. That's what he sent. And his excuse was it was cold.
Yeah. Yeah, he did say that. What a goofy fucker.
But his girlfriend gave him the okay. Remember his channel?
Yeah, that's
he lets kids on his channel, and he used to do the tub streams.
Oh my God, I remember them tub streams. I remember back in the old days. I remember back in the good old days when Lucy's a bowl of juice, when we would all band together and we would get his thumbs down to like in the hundreds, and he would completely lose his shit. You know, those were some good days. So do we think that? Do we assume that he was lying about Hetty okaying him to send that dick pic, or was it he actually telling the truth on that one?
I have no idea. I never heard her acknowledge it.
That's true. Exactly. It's a weird world. It's a crazy world we live in.
Yep. Crazy world.
When he says things like, be a man, put your dick in my hand. When he puts videos on his YouTube channel about what do I got to do to get a dick in my mouth. What are we supposed to think? I
have no idea. Or the fact that he knows where all the male prostitutes hang out. Like, why would you know that?
And he knows where all the pedos live too. He looked it up.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and he claims that we never go after real pedos, but we went after Cyrax, and then he defended Cyrax, and now Cyrax is in jail and was caught in
And
multiple
Tammy,
stings, by the way.
and Tammy too.
Yep, defended Tammy. That backfired for a little bit. I think they're friends again, though.
Well, just because somebody doesn't have charges yet, in my eyes, that's a bigger reason to keep on them.
Yeah, 100%.
And you know what? You know what, brother? I know we're not wrong about him, but damn, like I kind of wish, I wish I was just trolling him. I wish I was wrong. I don't want nobody to be raped or taken advantage of. I mean, you know, unfortunately,
Like I
I don't
said,
think that we are.
I've said this before. If it had just been that one video and nothing else followed it, I probably would have left it alone.
Exactly.
But it's the subsequent videos. In like the first year, I think there was almost 62 videos where he was glorifying pedophilia, talking about kids, harassing kids, sexually exploiting kids, going to kids' houses without parents' consent. That was all in the first year. If
Right.
none of that happened and it was just the video, I think I would have left it alone for the most part. The problem is that's not what it is. It's not just the confession video. It's the pattern of behavior and the conduct that has followed since the confession video.
It's his thinking. It's because he's so sick.
He thinks it's okay.
He thinks it's okay.
He thinks a 40-year-old man should demand and earn and have respect automatically from children online, which further shows the dude has no concept of being a parent, because that's not how it works. These kids
would
don't
be
have to
incapable.
respect you online.
No, and dude, his daughter. I wonder sometimes because
Oh,
I
thanks,
think
Matt.
his daughter's smart enough to see through all his shit. She knows. That's why she never wants. He always corners her and puts her in a room by herself and asks her
Yeah.
all these weird ass questions. She don't like that. She don't want that shit.
Or tries to get her on camera. Like I said, talks like he outed his daughter's sexual preference. He outed his daughter's menstrual cycle. He claims his daughter looks 17. These are things he did in front of his girlfriend, which further, again, like I said, the things that he's done in front of her that clearly prove he's incapable of understanding the interaction between adults and children, that she has given passes for.
And these weren't slip ups. This was him thinking he was doing the right thing.
Yeah, that he is his own worst enemy, because most of what I get information wise, as far as where he's working, what he's doing, and how he's doing, all comes from watching him, because he's incapable of keeping his cock holster closed. He tells on himself and then changes the story. Fucking
Unreal.
Whatever. He is such an idiot. He's going to end up shooting himself, or he's going to end up shooting somebody that doesn't deserve to be shot, and he's going to end up going to prison for the rest of his life.
It's going to happen.
And if that's what it is to take, it's unfortunate, but you'll be putting more people, you'll be protecting more people than not putting him in jail, in my opinion.
The best thing Cecil could do,
that much of a risk.
He sure does. The best thing he could do is get himself off the internet, get a job, work it for a year or more, develop some kind of financial stability for your family and improve your family's situations. But you have no business being in the public eye, because I'm telling you right now, Cecil, the longer that you are, the more time I have to get charges brought against you. And believe me, my friend, I will not stop. As long as you're on the internet, I'm going to be right here. You can say whatever you want about me. I will not.
And the more videos you make, and since you like to advertise yourself so much about being the Sea Love rap artist, the more videos you make, the more people are going to listen and Google you, and they're going to come up with the videos you don't want them to see. I guarantee that, because the algorithm for your name is strong on YouTube, and it doesn't come up to your hip hop music channel. It comes up
Nope.
to your confession videos. It comes up to your description of your 12-year-old looking 17 and menstruating and liking women. It comes up to your video of you threatening to whip 2 kids with a belt. It comes up to you admitting to going to 2 kids' houses without their parents' consent. It comes up with videos you don't want these people to see. So go ahead and brag about your rap career. That's the reason why your rap career is shit.
Rap with a silent E on the end. And the way that you can tell that my brother is speaking facts right now is go to YouTube, type in Highstreet Paranormal. And you know that little image that comes up next to the channel name you put in? Well, for Cecil's channel, it's the confession video like 90% of the time. And then depending on which one of his exposure videos is trending that day, it'll be a different one. But never is it a video that's actually on his main channel. It's all exposure videos.
He claims the video is not allowed to be on YouTube, which is false. Random News says if anybody has the video of Hetty's reaction to him, I think given the description of his daughter being grown and full, what was the term he used? Grown and fully matured or something. I forget what it was. But if anybody has that video, get it to Random. It may be on the website. I'm not sure. What you eating? Gummy bears or cinnamons?
I hope I'm not chewing too loud. These are them cherry Twizzlers.
Oh, Twizzler bites. I didn't even know they made those. All right. No, you're not chewing loud. I just saw a bunch of candy and I was like, oh, getting excited.
I got a mean sweet tooth, brother. You know that.
Montucci says he comes up when you search for wood hardener. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, so he made another hour-long video today about chimping about me, you, Steve-O, Huff, and Magnitude, and Magnitude's wife. Bunch of moronic threats as usual. With his dumb little face that he makes for his videos, looks like a freaking creep predator.
100%. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think, brother? Should we you want to close this one up?
Yeah, we'll close it up. And I just wanted to make sure that look, I support Magnitude. I understand what he's doing, and I know he's trying to get away from this idiot too. But right now, you got Michael Dunn making some pretty crazy accusations, none of which are true. Again, nobody wrote an article about him. But right now, anybody that supports him, I associate them in the predator category. They're there to try to get images of children. They're there to get some sort of information about children, and that's the only thing I can think of because there's no other reason to be there. He provides no entertainment, no content. He gets 1 or 2 views when he's doing music, 1 or 2 views when he's gold digging, 1 or 2 views when he's camping. And then 30 to 50, maybe even 80 when he's talking about us. So that they're not there to support him. He has no support. It's his own fault. He has nobody to blame but himself. But as usual, in true Cecil fashion, he'll figure out a way of blaming somebody else.
Like a true coward. And I predict this time next year, we're going to be having a very different live stream. I predict that he's going to be having charges brought against him within a year.
I hope so.
Yeah. I'm hoping and praying. I mean,
he's going to end up going to that kid's school one day with that thing strapped to him, and he's going to get hammed up like a mofo. I'm telling you right now, you cannot go on school property with a gun.
You know what we didn't talk about? Him exposing his daughter. You know, I don't think she ever reached out to him. The daughter that he never took care of.
No, she never reached out to him. He stalked her and found her Facebook page and then sent her a message on Facebook saying, I'm your real father, you're adopted, and I'd like to have a relationship with you. And then wondered why she never responded to it.
Think
Like
about if she didn't know.
if you saw that picture, if you saw an image of this dude in your inbox saying I'm your father, I'll tell you what my first reaction
Oh
would
my
be.
God.
Block.
I hope and I pray that his daughter, that his biological daughter, that he did not raise, I hope and pray that she has a wonderful life today. And if
Oh,
by
she
some
does. She just
strange
entered the
reason,
police academy.
that's
She just
amazing,
entered
you
the
know?
yeah, and that's something that he fantasizes about. He fantasizes about being a soldier or a police officer or some sort of a person that gets to have a gun and shoot people. He fantasizes
Could you
about that.
imagine? Could you imagine? They would never let him have a role of authority. But yeah, I just hope that
Luckily, he's
he
too old
stays
for
away
both,
from her.
so we're
I hope he's
we're
smart
he,
enough to stay away from her.
he's not. He's not. He's going to continue to
You
reach
know?
out and eventually get a restraining order.
Yeah. Well, he's too cheap. He's too cheap to spend the gas to go actually try to, physical, be in her physical presence. He's not going to spend the gas money to do that. He's too broke to do that. So
Here,
I guess
you
we
want to
have
know what
that.
I guaranteed happened when he reached out to her randomly on Facebook? I guarantee you she Googled that name.
I hope she did.
Cecil Wayne Carroll.
I hope
I
she's the one that
guarantee
puts
you.
the cuffs on him.
Wouldn't that be ironic?
She might be the one that slaps the cuffs on his weak wrists.
That'd be so. I mean, that would be the perfect ending to a horrible parenting.
Yeah. Thanks for nothing, Cecil. You know what I mean? He gave up on on all of his kids except Xandra, and I believe that's only because of Hetty, and I only believe that that's also because Hetty provides a roof over Xandra's head and Cecil's head, and that's the only reason why he's sticking around.
I have a sneaky suspicion, just based on her behavior, the Hetty or whatever her name is. I don't know if that's his.
I mean,
She looks nothing like
I
him.
bet they do not look alike. I mean, it wouldn't
She
surprise me.
does look like his brother.
Yeah. Now that I
Because
think of it,
his brother don't look like him either. But his brother looks more like Xandra than Xandra looks like Cecil, which I don't know. He did describe some kind of weird menage a trois with him and his brother and a woman.
dude, they're all incest. It's an incest family. You know?
It takes 3 years per black belt. So you can get a third degree in 9 years. But
That's another funny
that boy don't know
coincidence.
jiu-jitsu at all, because his body is not his. If you're a third degree black belt, your body has been formed and changed over. You would have rips and cuts and muscles in places, because jiu-jitsu is not just jiu-jitsu. It's physical training. Push-ups. That boy can't do 2 push-ups, let alone sit-ups.
No, he'd break his wrist
without getting out of breath. And the dude's out of breath just walking up his flight of stairs. So yeah, no.
Yep. Who's winning a fight between Cecil and Cyrax?
Cyrax.
Yeah.
I mean, Cyrax is crazy and ugly and a demon, but I've seen him punch. The dude can punch.
He uses bats too. And we all know Cecil ain't gonna pull that. He's not gonna pull that piece out. He's already been robbed, and with a gun on, and he still didn't do anything about it. Even though I'm pretty sure he was buying crack and just made up a story to tell Hetty. That's why he lost their money.
Well, if you Google where he was, there is an Asian massage parlor there.
Oh, there you go.
So that's what I think happened, but who knows with him? I mean, you're sending your dick pics to people online. You have no idea who they are, what their age is, but you're just randomly sending it because Hetty said it was okay. I don't know. I just find it odd. I'd like to hear from her. I'd like to hear from Hetty. Hetty, did you say it was okay for what he refers to as his wife? So your husband was allowed to send his dick to some random female online? Did you give him permission to do that? I'd love to hear that.
It don't even make sense when you say it out loud. It just don't. How great would it be, though? How mad would Cecil be if we were able to reach out to Hetty and all the shit, all the evidence we could send her? But I don't know now, man. You know, she probably belongs right next to him in a cell, in a woman's facility.
Yep. All right.
Day by day. That's right.
Just because we studied jiu-jitsu in the military, I gotta prove a point here.
Hell yeah.
If you could present my screen. Black belt has 6 degrees, with the first 3 degrees each taking 3 years to achieve. That means once you get your black belt, it'll take 9 years to become a 3rd degree black belt, not 16. And that's according to the Sport Jiu-Jitsu International Federation. It could take up to 17 years of practice and study to get 3rd degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but not in American Jiu-Jitsu. And I guarantee you, he never took Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu if he took anything.
Hell no.
Because Cecil takes the easy way out of everything. He probably read a book online, tried a couple of moves, watched a few episodes of Naruto, and thought he was a 3rd degree black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. 9 years or 16 years, it don't matter to me. The boy doesn't know shit about martial arts because he won't face anybody in the octagon. He was offered 10 grand.
Yes,
if you're a 3rd degree black belt in jiu-jitsu, you're going to wipe the floor with pretty much any one of us. I guarantee you that. What's up, Earth? Yeah. Hattie said if he did do it, it's because he was sleepwalking. Sleep humping. Whatever. Again, the way he describes his daughter, the fact that she don't even have... If he was a sleep humper, wouldn't you put a door on your daughter's room to protect your daughter as a mother?
You would think so. What's up, Steve-O?
He hasn't said that lie. I think he forgot that lie. He just mentioned jiu-jitsu the other day, actually, in one of his little rants. Steve-O, obviously we hate Cecil because my brother and I are secretly in love with you and we want to put our dicks in your hand. Did you know that? I didn't know that. So weird. Don't you have reptiles or something? Or snakes? What do you have?
Both. Let me see. We'll see if they're out. I'm gonna have to jump off here in a second. Let me see here. Let me see who's out. Man, it was,
what do you have, a
really good jumping
python or something?
Guys. No,
it's always good catching up with you.
I got a cobra in here, an Egyptian cobra.
Like the snake?
Snake, yeah, yep.
A cobra snake. Oh my god.
Yeah, you don't want to get bit by him. He's not like a king cobra. He's from. I think he's actually considered like a false cobra because they're venomous, but they're colubrids, which mean they're rear-fanged, but they're from Egypt and they mimic cobras. So it's really cool animal. Oh, he is out.
Oh yeah, we did mention that, Steve-O. We did mention this was the second time she's been with one. Oh wow, yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, he's beautiful. He's beautiful.
Was the albino?
No, he's I could try to hold him. He's
you
like
and Pirate would get along.
He's almost patterned like a rattlesnake.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, but he's really cool, and I got I don't know if anybody's these little guys.
Oh yeah, look at that.
They're really cool. They eat fish.
Fish. Okay.
This is
Christ, you got terrariums all over the place.
This is a Death Stalker scorpion. Really cool animal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
brother.
man.
It was
Next
great
time
getting
you're
with
in
you. We
town,
should
I'll have to
probably.
show you.
Yeah, I should be up probably 2 months or so, give or take.
Great. I'd love
But
to see you guys,
always
man.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, we really
Let's
do
link
need
up.
to keep
Let's link
doing
up once a
these.
month. Yeah, like once a month.
We need
Just,
to. We
just,
need to.
just hold him accountable. Kind of talk
Yep.
about his latest twig out.
Yep.
Much love to you and the family and the nephew. Peace and love
You
to
too, my
everybody
brother.
else. Thank you so much for having me, brother.
Sorry, dude. You too. I love you, brother. You are the
All right.
man. I appreciate everything you do.
And thank you to everybody.
Yep,
Yep.
everybody.
Thank you to
Irish,
everybody that
Earth,
helps hold him accountable. We
Marcy.
appreciate it. All right, bro. You be
It's a group
safe.
effort.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Yep. You too. Much love to everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.